be sharing her story with us. And so we're going to go ahead and get started with that. We want to let you know that no matter what you're going through, that you can not only, with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, that you can not only survive it, but you can thrive and you can live abundantly. So let's jump right in today with our guest. So exciting. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get started by asking you to introduce yourself to us and then just tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and tell us what your life was like as you grew up. Welcome.
Okay. Welcome everybody. Thank you. My name is Lisa Johnson, and I am uh the youngest of six, and I grew up in Washington D.C., where I was born and raised. My parents are now deceased, which is Burton Johnson and Lula Terrell. Um, I grew up in a broken home. The three older siblings, they were raised by my dad, and the three youngest, Wharton, he had left the home. So I basically grew up, even though my father came around, um,
Mm-hmm.
I basically kind of grew up without a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I can remember at an early age, I kind of ran the streets. I guess I was
Mm-hmm.
probably, I could say now, I was looking for love in all the wrong places. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah. So what impact do you think that has on you as you look back on that now? Not having your dad in the home. What impact do you think that had on you?
um, I think not having a father figure kind of impacted me staying in the streets. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so out of all my siblings, I was the only one who ran the streets. Um,
Okay. Okay.
I kind of stayed out all night. My dad, my dad came over, he talked to me, and they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
understand the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I would run the streets. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't come home half of
Mm-hmm.
the time. My mom called the police as a missing person report. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and time after time, I just kept doing the same thing. I kind of
Mm-hmm.
feel that I didn't like the home I grew up in.
Oh, okay. 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 So would you say at this point you think you were looking for something now that you have the, advantage of being able to look back on that? Do you think you were looking for something?
Well, what attracted me, I kind of stayed around probably families that was close knitted. Um,
Okay. Okay. Mhm.
um, I kind of stayed around people that kind of showed each other love and stuck together.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
guess that was an attraction for me.
Right. Mhm. Mhm. So Lisa, where did this lifestyle as you talk at this point, where did it lead you?
Um, I ran the streets, so I end up smoking drugs that started off as mild drugs, maybe reefer, beer, liquor, and then it
Mhm.
progressed to I started smoking um, PCP, and then I ended up smoking crack.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, it progressed over the years as I was growing up. I I guess I wanted to feel numb. I didn't want to feel
Mhm.
no pain. I didn't want to deal with any type of emotional issues that I was having.
Mhm.
I didn't feel that I could really talk to anyone. I kind of feel that I was like inside but outside of my body.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
I uh, I end up having three children. Uh, two boys, one girl. I kind of raised them on the best of my ability. I never finished school. Um, I kind
Mhm.
of ran the hallways and hooked the school, and
Mhm. Mhm.
I just I guess I kind of feel that I wasn't a part of.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I kind of feel that I didn't get the attention at home that I needed to proceed with
Mhm.
the help that I need to grow
Mhm.
and flourish in school.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Mhm.
it became less of an issue for me um, to
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
want to be in school.
Mhm.
My
Mhm.
mom only had a fifth grade education, and for a long time, I blamed her. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
as I look back now, I can't say I blamed her because she did what she had, could do.
Mhm.
She did what
Mhm.
she had learned to do.
Mhm.
She was from
Mhm.
Kentucky, and we were up here. We had no
Mhm.
relatives really, but my father's side, and I
Mhm.
didn't know much
Mhm.
of them. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I kind of where I seen my friends with their cousins and you know uh,
Mhm.
sisters and brothers. I kind of didn't have a cousin to hang around or, that side of the
Mhm.
family because my mom kind of traced my father's side of the family away. She didn't
Okay.
want us to be around him.
Mhm. Mhm. So living this life, as you're living this life as a drug abuser, what was as you? How long would you say that you were, living this kind of life, abusing drugs and trying to do what you needed to do?
Well, I guess it started off in 1996, something like that. I started
Mm-hmm.
smoking reefer, and
Mm-hmm.
it didn't end till probably 2010.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was the turning point? What was the turning point in your life that led you to a life of recovery, to seek recovery?
Well, I was, I was introduced to God, probably in 1997. I'm going to say
Okay.
1997. Um,
Okay.
my dad was remarried and his wife died, and we visited the church. We went to his wife's funeral. So
Mhm.
that's when I met you, and some other
Mhm.
people in Comedy Hill, Baptist Church.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and I can recall one day telling my story in the women ministry, and I
Okay.
think
Mhm.
that's when you took hold of me. And
Mhm.
I recall you picking me up on Sundays, and you gave me a Bible, which I cherish right now. It was like a pocketbook Bible, and it
Mhm.
fascinated me because it was a pocketbook. And I guess
Yeah.
back then I didn't want nobody to really know I was going to church. So
Right.
I put it on as a pocketbook, but when you picked me
Mhm.
up, some things stuck out for me. And one of them was that God could accept me the way I was. Um, no
Mhm.
matter what I did, my sins was forgiven. And I think that was the most part that stuck out for me. That no matter what I did and how I did it, I was forgiven.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
So I didn't really stop doing drugs, and I didn't really stay in church, and I didn't catch on. And it was a slow progress, but
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Mhm.
believe he was picking me up, working on me, putting me back down, and I think I
Okay.
still had some what you call a run in me or
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
still fulfill what I needed to fulfill, and I still wasn't dealing with the emotional issues that I was going through. Um, And
Mhm.
at that
Mhm.
point, my drug habit got really, really worse. I start, I start, selling stuff out of my house, and I start, I really never neglect my kids, but I did neglect them because I was on drugs. But um,
Mhm.
my family
Mhm.
kind of stuck with me. At this point
Okay.
right
Mhm.
now, they start sticking me into
Mhm.
drug rehabs, and I was in and out for almost probably about 4 or 5 years. Every time I mess up, they grab
Mm.
me up and
Mm.
they would put me in a drug rehab and take care of the kids until I got back out. And I did go
Mhm.
for a while. Um, and when I got back out,
Mhm.
things got tough again, and I fell. I only
Mhm.
knew what I knew
Mhm.
how to do, and that was to numb the pain. So
Right.
um,
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
that's what I did.
Mhm.
I picked back up. I started back using again, and
Mhm.
this the story is a never ending cycle.
Mhm.
It just kept progressing, and
Right.
my last term was when I remember I remember being in the house. And at this point, I was married. I got married. And
Mhm.
that was kind of an abusive thing for me as well. It started off
Mhm.
okay, but then it ended up I was emotionally abused, not physically. And then dealing with the
Mhm.
emotional
Mhm.
issues that I had myself, and then
Mhm.
it was an
Mhm.
up and down
Mhm.
situation. I was in court with him, and I remember my last run with him. I went back. To him. It was an in and outdoor thing. I would leave and come back, leave, come back. And the last time I left, um, I started looking at me because um, I really couldn't love nobody because I didn't know how to love myself. Um, so I went into a rehab, and then they sent me to an all women shelter. I stayed in the
Okay.
women's shelter for almost 8 years. Um, there,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
stayed there. I did end up getting the emotional support that I needed. I seen a psychiatrist for almost probably 4 or 5 of those years. I took a lot of class, anger management. Uh, I took a lot of emotional classes. I did drama class. It helped a lot. From that
Okay.
point,
Okay.
on, I was dealing with also some issues of me being heavy. I had really gotten
Mhm.
heavier than what I used to be.
Mhm.
I used to have this what you
Mhm.
call a Pepsi Cola shape from now to
Okay.
what I have now. And I didn't like the way
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
looked. So I even went
Okay. Okay.
when I was in a women's center. I even got uh, a gastro bypass. Um,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I kind of probably
Mhm.
thought that that would help me feel good about myself a little better,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mhm.
which I know now it really didn't. It really didn't. It helped a
Okay.
little, but it really
Okay.
didn't. I mean, I had some
Okay.
health issues as well.
Okay. 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 So what was the what would you say now was the actual key to your turning, the turning the road turning, from that to a path of recovery? What were some of those things that really helped you in addition to you talked about the counseling that you received from the psychiatrist, the help with even looking at your health and body shape and all that. What else helped you uh, to the path of recovery?
One of the greatest things that helped me was knowing God.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Before then, before I went into the women's shelter, I was I went to Michigan, and I
Mhm.
was in a
Mhm.
religious program. And
Okay.
during that time that I was in the religious program, I found God.
Okay.
I didn't
Okay.
know him the way I knew him when you were taking me to church.
Right.
So,
Right. Mhm.
um, when you were taking me back and forth to church, picking me up, I was introduced to him. But
Mhm.
spiritually, I became spiritually involved with him. Um,
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
I want to say that God has touched my life in so many ways. When I was in Michigan,
Okay.
I fast for 40 days, 40 nights. A group of us started off, um, and I was the only one that was left in the group. Um,
Okay. Okay.
so during that fast, I found a spiritual connection with God. I
Okay.
didn't eat. I drank water at dinner,
Okay.
lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I drank water. Um,
Okay.
and that was the only thing I had for 40 days and
Okay.
40 nights. Um,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I want to say I started getting spiritual awakenings. When I got there, I was having like real bad dreams. I
Mhm.
was I was like, Pete, Dad stopped praying over me because, like, in the middle of the night, I would wake up screaming, and I couldn't even remember half of the dreams that I was having. Um,
Mhm.
and I think like I was being put through a test or something.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it kind of
So
feel like, huh?
how long have you been in recovery?
Um, well, I don't. I want to say that I was in and out of recovery for probably um, since 1997 to up to now.
Okay.
But in and out. But I
Okay.
didn't really fully recover till I left. Till I
Okay.
got to N
Okay.
Street, which was in 2010.
Okay. 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 What are some of the biggest challenges, you know, and even rewards that you find now living this path of recovery, and the challenges that of all the challenges we're going to talk about, a big challenge that you're facing now in just a few moments. But what are the challenges that you face in your life now?
Um, well, I was in and out of homelessness. I didn't have a home. And I lost jobs back then. And the challenge I face now is that I just moved from Baltimore City. I moved down to Baltimore City in I want to say 2018, and I've been here
Okay.
almost 5 years now.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
when I got here, I worked probably about three jobs. I kind of threw myself into work, um,
Mm-hmm.
and it all boiled down to me having just one job, which I stayed on for 6 years. At this
Okay.
present now, I got fired. Um,
Okay.
so I am in adversity right now of trying to pay my rent, but I'm in a space where I'm comfortable because I'm praying day and night. It's only
Okay.
because that I know God, that I know that when the door's shut or windows open, He has
Okay.
proven to me time and time again um,
Okay.
that
Okay.
He has not failed me, and I believe that um, no matter what the outcome is, it's going to lead me to a better road. And
Okay.
maybe it's
Okay.
still part of something that I have to go through.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't tell you that. I can't tell you now what's going to happen in the future, but we still go through our trials and tribulations, and it's probably a
Okay.
trial that I'm going through, maybe a tribulation that I have to offer later on in life. But I
Right.
am
Right.
facing homelessness, and I still praising God.
Okay.
I managed to pay my rent for last month, and I'm going to try to manage to pay it and here make a way for this month as well. I
Okay.
believe.
Okay. So as you share this, and for someone that some might be facing homelessness, as you say you are at this point, what is the what role does your faith, and as you talk, your testimony is such a beautiful testimony. Is there anything you would like to add to the role that your faith plays in facing these kinds of challenges?
Well, I want to say probably in 2016, I was doing really good. I was living in Maryland on Riverdale Road, and I have my oldest son. He has a disability,
Okay.
and um, he's highly functional, but
Okay.
he still needs guidance and help.
Mm-hmm.
So him
Mm-hmm.
and another young lady had a child, um,
Okay.
and
Okay.
God had laid it upon me to raise this child, which I have now with me, my grandson.
Okay.
He's 7 now. And I had him. I picked him up from the hospital. So my son had asked me to. The mother was locked up when she had him,
Okay.
and my son had
Okay.
asked me if I could pick him up from the hospital and keep him till she came home. So I did that, and when she got out, it wasn't what it was supposed to be, and I end up keeping him.
Okay.
Um, so I'm raising him now, and um, God has opened the door for me to uh, raise him, and I so far I have I have I have done the best to my ability to raise him.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
he's also has a disability.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
autistic. So my job that I do is working with disability people. So I kind of am
Mm-hmm.
trained in that area. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I thank
Mm-hmm.
God that I am trained in that area, and the reason I went into that particular area is because of my son. I wanted to be able to help
Right.
others
Right.
that is in that capacity.
Right. Right. So being primary, as a grandmother, being primary child care, for your grandchild, care for your grandchild. You also have some role in caring for your son, who is you say has disability.
Yes.
How do you find the strength to keep going? You know, through all of this and facing homelessness and all of this. How do you find the strength each day to keep going?
Sometimes I want to climb up in the bed and don't want to open my eyes, and and other days I don't even want to talk to people. But the
Mm-hmm.
strength comes from God. I found, you know, I don't know. I can't explain the spiritual awakening that I had, but uh,
Mm-hmm.
I get dreams, and when I get like that, I don't know. God started talking to me. I get dreams. Dreams come to me, and then sometimes he talks to me. And it's really hard to explain. Some dreams I can remember, some I can't. Part I can remember, part I can't. Um,
Right.
and I don't know how to tell you this, but like I can walk past someone and I'll get this inner voice, and it'll tell me things like um if I'm being followed, if I'm being mocked, if I I I,
Uh,
I it's like a spiritual awakening. It don't happen all the time, but it
Right.
does happen.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but my all my strength lies, it lies within God in Jesus' name. Yes, He has
Okay.
helped me tremendously. He is the biggest help. He is the one that keeps me um insane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I want to say that the strength come from I read my Bible. I wasn't
Okay.
doing it as much because I was dealing with working and then coming home taking care of
Mhm.
my grandson. And
Mhm.
now that I have a lot of time, I kind of read my Bible. I
Okay.
pray.
Okay.
I don't go out as much as I used to. I'm putting
Okay.
in jobs
Okay.
online, and I do have faith.
Mhm.
I really believe that um, God is going to open the door for me.
Okay. Okay. What advice would you have for others who are facing, so many persons are facing homelessness, you unemployed at this time. What advice would you have for others facing similar situations?
One advice I will have is please, please stop picking up. It's real easy for 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 us to want to numb situations.
Okay. Okay.
And it doesn't help. It kind of leads to another problem. It kind of leads
Okay.
to worse problems. I'm gonna put it to you like that. It doesn't make the situation
Okay.
easier. You can't think
Okay.
when your
Okay.
head is cloudy. Um,
Okay.
I want to say, I have faced homelessness probably about 3 or 4 times.
Mhm.
And I want to
Mhm.
say, keep going. I mean, because
Okay.
like if
Okay.
you can take and put your feet on the floor each morning and get up and tell yourself that you are
Mhm.
beautiful and you
Mhm.
and you are more than what you give yourself credit for. I believe
Mhm.
that you can keep going.
Mhm. Mhm.
Seek the help you need. Most people don't deal with the emotional issue, but I found that when you have that emotional issue and you don't deal
Mhm.
with it,
Mhm.
it keeps you
Mhm.
out there. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, it might sound crazy for you to say, "Oh, I need to talk to a psychologist," or "I need to
Mhm. Mhm.
talk to somebody," because I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
talking helps the situation more, and you never know when you talk to someone what road they can lead you down. You know,
Okay.
um,
Okay. Okay.
you know, you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
remember you're never alone. You're never in this alone. I always felt alone, so
Mhm. Mhm.
I never felt
Mhm.
that I had help. But I think if you seek help, you can get it. Uh,
Mhm. 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 I
I,
want to
I,
ask you, Lisa. Okay, excuse me, but I just want to ask you. There are many grandmothers raising their grandchildren. What message would you give to grandmothers who are raising their grandchildren?
um, I can only give them what I'm experiencing. Um,
Okay.
I love him, and
Okay.
I'm gonna do within all my power to keep going with him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I I didn't think that I was gonna be raising another child. To be
Right.
honest with
Yeah.
you, I thought
Yeah.
at this point my life was gonna be okay. I was turning, and I didn't have any kids. I could walk out the door when I wanted to.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
at this point, I put my life on hold for him, and I'll do it again if I had to. Um,
Okay. Okay.
and I would say to all the grandmothers raising their grandkids is hats off to y'all because it's not an easy job. It's not,
Right.
especially with mine. He's autistic, so I'm going through
Mm-hmm.
some extra things. Like
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't he eats certain food and he
Mm-hmm.
won't put certain clothes on and he don't like clothes and you know, so it's
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
emotional change as well for him as is for me. Um, I want to tell them that God is with you. I mean, He's never going to put
Yeah.
anything more on you than you can handle. And when you feel you can't
Okay.
handle it, I think you should pray. Go to Him and pray, um, because
Okay.
the answer it
Okay.
lies with God. In Jesus' name, it lies with
Okay.
God. I think if you open that door, nothing should be impossible unto you. You know.
Okay. 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 So how do you find now? How do you find moments, of peace and joy in the situation that you're in, facing homelessness, raising your grandchild, unemployment? How do you find peace and joy?
Um, my grandson give me joy. Watching him
Okay.
sometimes. I get joy when people call. Like you send me texts every day. That's a uplifting spirit for me. Um, I find joy when I've been down and get on my knees and pray. I find joy when I look back at my life and I'm not dead. I could be dead in my grave. I'm not dead. God has laid out a path for me. He has opened a door for me time and time again. I have went through so much trials and tribulations. Um, it's very emotional for me. So, I really want to say that um, God has played a major role in my life, a major role from where I used to be, and it's not easy. And no one told me it was going to be easy. Um,
Right.
but when I need a little uplifting, I do have people in my life that uplift me. In some ways, it helps me going. It keeps me going. God placed people, places, and things in your life um, to help you keep going. So yes, I get emotional because I came so far for me to say I'm going to throw my hands up and give God another black eye. No, I'm not doing that anymore. So um, I can remember one time my brother telling me, "Well, Lisa, why do you keep giving God black eyes? Why? When time and time He opened the door for you." Well, uh, I couldn't answer him because I didn't know myself, and
Right. Right.
today I can say emotionally I wasn't ready. I
Right.
wasn't
Right.
dealing with some things that happened in my past, like being raped and I was
Yeah.
raped. I was actually raped several times, and dealing with stuff like that.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
might,
Yeah.
some things I buried and they would come out as I was talking in my psychologist session. That I buried that I didn't even know that I buried them. You know,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
so my greatest walk is looking back at life, seeing where God brought me from, and to
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
everyone know that it's not impossible for you to make it.
Okay. 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 What is the most important thing that people should know about you?
Uh, First and foremost, I want them to know that I put God in front of everything. And
Okay.
I am a
Okay.
people person, so I have a really big heart. Um, so
Okay.
if there's
Okay.
anything that I can do um, to help anyone, I do it. I try to do it. And
Okay. Okay.
I really love people. I just love people.
Okay, okay. Even sharing your story, I believe, is just going to be so helpful to people. And again, certainly want to thank you for that. Want to end with this. What would you like for your legacy to be? What would you like to leave? As we think about the impact of your story, 20 years from now or 30 years from now, what would you like for your legacy to be?
That I saved someone.
Okay.
That this story will save someone. That this
Okay.
story
Uh,
will lead someone to God. In Jesus'
okay.
name, that this story will open doors to let people know that what they think the impossible is possible. I'm living proof of it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that to let people know that there's people out there that care. Uh, you just have to seek the help you need. Um, if God opens the door, walk through it. Walk through
Okay.
it. Don't
Okay.
be afraid. Don't be
Okay.
ashamed to ask for help. So I want the
Okay.
story to be able to help someone.
Okay. 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 Well, everyone, there you have it. Another fascinating story on Abundant Living Everyday Legacy Series. A story not only, a story of survival, rape, drug abuser, you name it, it's been there, but on a path God has blessed, and just giving God all the glory and all the honor and the praise for coming such a long way, raising her grandchild, taking care of her, son, being the woman of God that God would have her to be. The story of Lisa Johnson sharing with us today on Abundant Living Every Day. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you again, Lisa, for sharing your story. Thank you so much, everyone, for allowing me on Abundant Living Everyday Legacy to share another fascinating story with you, where we're sharing stories of ordinary men and women whom God has done some extraordinary things in our lives. And we're sharing those stories with you so that you will see that God is able to do exactly what he said he would do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the curtain falls on today's story. As the curtain falls on today's story, another fascinating story. Remember, there's a story and each and every one of us just waiting to be shared, and you never know who your story might help. Again, thank you so much for Abundant Living Everyday Legacy Series. Signing off. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you.